on time?
Yeah, I'll set my watch again. It might be a few minutes shorter. We'll see what comes out. Hello there, I'm Jennifer, and this morning we're going to practice a gentle yoga class. While you're here, make sure you set up with some tools to help ease your practice. So I've started by sitting up on a cushion. You could use a blanket to sit on. I also have a couple of blocks just in case. Sometimes the blocks help us to bring the floor a little closer. You could sit on the block. You could use the blocks to release some pressure off your knees. You could use them under your knees to sit a little more comfortably. We're going to start out in today's class sitting upright. So find a way to sit where you feel comfortable in your back. We want to lift your spine up nice and tall. Your head lands directly on top of your shoulders. Your shoulders are broad from tip to tip, and your tail is heavy, dropping down into the floor. I have my shins crossed, one in front of the other. You can sit however feels comfortable to your body. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth for a big sigh. Allow your eyes to gently close or lower your gaze downward toward the floor. Rest your palms softly on your knees or in your lap. Begin by noticing your breath. Notice the length of your breath. As you inhale, feel the ribs expand on the sides. As you exhale, feel the belly contract as you press the breath out of your body. Release across your forehead. Relax between your eyebrows. Soften the hinge of your jaw. Release the tongue. Notice inhaling, filling the lungs as they expand and the ribs stretch apart. Exhale, feel the breath as it presses out of your body and your tailbone drops. Notice your connection to the earth beneath you. Reach up through the top of your head toward the sky above you. Using a visualization today, I want you to imagine that you could expand the breath throughout your body. Breathing in, follow the breath in through the nose, down through the right side of your body, traveling all the way down to the base of your spine. And as you exhale, bring the breath up the left side of your spine, all the way up and out again through your nose. Imagine that the breath could travel not only into and out of your lungs, but all the way into the base of your spine. Up from the base of your spine and out through your nose. One more of these. Inhale the length of your spine on the right side. Exhale the left side length of your spine from the bottom to the top and out your nose. After your next exhalation, lower your chin downward toward your chest. Swallow while you're here and blink your eyes open. Inhale, lift your face to gaze upward toward the sky. Lift your chin. Exhale, chin comes down to your chest. Squeeze the chin into your body. Inhale, raise your gaze, maybe bringing your bottom lip up and over your top lip for extra stretch of your throat. Open your mouth really wide to stretch the jaw. And release. Chin drops again down toward your chest. Bring your face to look straight ahead this time, and we'll turn the gaze right and left, looking out toward the side. Notice if you could see yourself in the side mirror. Notice if your spine is still tall or if you've begun to slouch forward. Last one, this direction, and now we're going to change and tip the head side to side. Allow your ear to drop toward your shoulder. And as silly as it may seem, while your head is tipped over to one side, extend your jaw forward and move it side to side. You feel that release in the hinge of your jaw area. One more to each side. And back to center. Let's fold over our shins here, pulling your tailbone toward the back. Lean forward with a long spine. Brace yourself to the floor with your hands or your elbows, dropping in as deeply as your body will allow you to go today. Inhale as you lift from the head and walk back up. We'll shake the legs out the front. Release in the knees and the ankles. Roll your ankles around, squeeze and open in your toes. Bend your knees and place your feet to the floor so that directly in front of your sitting bones. We'll take reverse table by leaning back. Fingers can point out to the side or they can point forward towards your feet. From here, press into the underside of each of your fingers. Lift your sternum up and extend your head long off the end of your spine. From here, if you'd like to also lift your hips, lifting the hips up, lifting the tailbone toward the sky, reaching the crown of your head directly behind you, and see if you can bring your hips in line with your knees. One more breath, and release. Lower your hips, extend your legs out the front. Deep breath in as your arms reach to the sky. Exhale, lean forward. When you can't lean any further with a straight back, lower your arms and rest down. Feel the weight of your body drop over your lower legs. There's no need to pull or push or bounce, just being still here. Inhale once again to sit up tall. Recross your legs if you were sitting with crossed legs, but this time with the other shin in the front. Hands will come to rest on the knees and begin to move into cat and cow, forward and backward flexion of the spine. Rolling toward the back with straight arms, pull your chin to your chest and tuck your pelvis up the front so you're lifting your pubic bone up toward your head. Then come the opposite way, sitting up nice and tall. Leaning forward a bit, pull your shoulders behind you, your elbows behind you, open up across your sternum as you gaze toward the sky. Let's go back and forth now using your breath, rounding toward the back and opening toward the front. Moving your body gently back and forth. Coming to sit up tall. This time we'll bring the hands out to the side. Open your arms, palms facing forward. Bring your hands forward and then bend the elbows to bring your thumbs to your sternum. Inhale, reach the arms forward again and open them wide to the side. Palms forward together, into your sternum. Reach arms forward together, open to the side. Back and forth like this. Feel free to add a little cat and cow here, opening to the front and rounding to the back. Last one like this. This time sit up tall, reach your arms up and open wide to the side. Going in reverse, arms lift and return to your sternum. Back and forth, inhale up, open wide, reverse arms up, touch down to your heart. Repeat like this, up and open, reverse, up and to your heart. Last one like this, up and open, reverse up into your heart. Taking a twist this time, turn your ribs to the left, lower your right hand across to the opposite knee, and drop your left fingers beside you or even a little bit toward the back. Drop down into your tail, lift your heart up, open the chest, twisting in your spine. Inhale, coming back to the center, turning the other way. Rotate your ribs to the right, left arm crosses to the body, and the right fingers will drop beside or even a little bit behind you. Lift tall in your spine, rotate your head, gently gazing over your right shoulder. Inhale, returning to the center, folding again, this time with your shins switched so the other leg is in front. Get another stretch in the hips, dropping forward. Supporting yourself. So if you don't lean very far forward, that's fine. There's no need to go any further. If you'd like to anchor your forehead and you can't come to the floor, you could stack your hands, or you could get a block or two to come underneath your shoulders. Sorry, forehead. Let's say you don't lean very far forward. I'm making a leaning tower of blocks. I'm going to lean forward, place my forehead on my blocks, elbows on my knees, hands on the floor. Inhale, lift from your head and walk yourself back up. We're going to extend our body this time. One more time, we're going to take reverse table. If you would like to take reverse plank, legs go straight, balls of your feet reach toward the floor. Palms press down, heart lifts up. Lifting perhaps also the hips, coming into reverse plank. One more breath, lift the tailbone up. Exhale, release down. This time with legs straight out in front, let's lean forward, reaching out, sternum towards your ankles, lower your hands, and drop in. 2 breaths here. One more breath. Inhale, rise, and come to your hands and knees. Please remember, when you're on your hands and knees, you can always take some modifications to make this a little softer for you. If you don't like to be on your knees and you want a little more padding, I have a blanket here. I can stretch this blanket across my mat and put my knees comfortably on the blanket. Similarly, I can use this blanket under the heels of my hands and my fingers continue onto the mat. Alternatively, blocks under my forearms, arms connected together. Nice tall table here. From tabletop, once you get settled, begin to move your body once again into flexion, forward and backward of the spine, coming into cat and cow belly stretch. If, like me, you're getting a little warmed up at home, I hope you can get comfortable in your body, warming up the muscles, moving the synovial fluid in the joints. Let's take the hips side to side now. And coming into a table balance, extend your right leg to the back. Bring the hands a little bit forward. We're going to push into the heel and rock forward onto the top of the foot. Push back to the heel, rock forward to the top of the foot. One more time, press back, rock forward, and release. Coming to table, nice and strong. Lift your back leg, opposite left fingers forward, and lift up. Strong breath. Hold the belly away from the floor. Careful the tail doesn't tip up too high. And release to change to the other side. Start by pressing your left toes to the floor. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Push the heel, then rock forward to the top of your foot. We're stretching over the instep. Now we'll balance. Wrists under shoulders. Lift your heel. Opposite arm forward to lift. So you can always leave one of these pieces on the ground. You don't have to do both, okay? Always your choice. Smooth breath. And release. Let's come back to the first side, right leg and left arm. We're gonna make crunches this time. Inhale for an extension. Exhale as you round the back, pull in your knee, elbow, and chin. Inhale to extend. So every time you exhale, really pull small. Inhale, reach with purpose. Push and kick. One more of these, round and squeeze. Inhale, reach. And release. Take the other side, left leg, right arm. Inhale to lift and squeeze. Reach, squeeze, and reach. Two more. Squeeze, and reach, squeeze, and reach. We're gonna move from here into side plank. So drop your hands, but leave your leg in the air. Take the foot that's on the floor, the right foot, kickstand it behind you. Drop your straight leg to the floor at the back of your mat. Turn to your right and reach your left arm up in the sky. Your head can look down, forward, or up, but take care that you don't drop your head toward the floor. Keep it as an extension of your spine. Option to challenge here, ankle and heel lift toward the sky as you lift your foot up. Maybe arm overhead or arm to the back. And release, coming down. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see the other side. You're extending your right leg this time and the left arm. Take this nice lift here, hands to the floor. Kickstand your left foot behind you. Drop your right foot to the floor as you turn right and lift your arm to the sky. So take care the tailbone doesn't point out the back. Nice and long and strong. Reaching the tailbone toward your foot. Option to lift from the ankle, nice and strong in the hip here. This is half moon, we just happen to be on the floor. Arm could reach over, or arm could reach down. And release. Let's take child's pose. Feet together, knees wide, have a seat back, rest your hands, rest your arms, rest your head. Child's pose can take a lot of variations. Once you settle in, take deep breaths. If your forehead does not connect to the floor in child's pose, bring the floor closer to your head. You might use a block. You might stack your hands. You could try elbows to the floor and prop your head on your hands. And release. Coming back up. This time we're going to take a lunge. We're starting out with the left foot forward and a left low lunge. We're going to stay down on the knees. Feel free to put a blanket under your knees. I'm going to have one block under my right hand for support and bring my left foot out the front. I'm going to keep this lunge pretty tall. I'm going to anchor my hips over my right knee, put my left knee in front of my hip and my ankle under my knee. Okay. From here, my left hand will stay to my hip for anchor. If you feel stable, reach your right arm up toward the sky and lean over toward the left side. Inhale, release. Take your right elbow bent like a cactus and twist to the left, turning forward. Turning to the side, sorry. Turning to your left side. Now from here, you're going to reach your right arm forward toward the front of your mat. Reach and lean out the front. Then squeeze in a bicep curl, pull that back in towards you. Reach like there's something really special out there you want. Pull it back in close to your body. Inhale, reach and squeeze. One more of those, reach and squeeze. All right, let's change sides. Bringing, again, I'm going to turn around so you can see what's happening on the other side. Right foot goes out the front. I'm using a block under my left hand for support. So I'll show you a slightly different angle. If you want to be more forward, you could come forward of that back knee with your hips. Okay, you decide. Once you start rocking, though, you might not have nearly as far to go. You decide. I'm settled here, right hand on my hip. I'm going to reach my left arm into space. As I exhale, lean to the right, pressing into my feet, pulling the belly zippered up to the lower ribs. Tailbone is dropping down the back. Big breath. Exhale, elbow bends and comes out to the side as I turn my chest to the right. Nice twist here. Now, this left arm that's in front, I'm going to reach it out the front of my mat, squeeze and pull it in close to my body. Reach, inhale, squeeze, exhale. Reach, squeeze, one more, reach, squeeze, and release. Let's come to hands and knees and downward dog. So downward dog, hands to the floor, tuck your toes underneath you. Pushing the hands down and forward, you're going to pull the hips away from your hands. From here, hips are pulling up and back. Knees can stay as bent as you need them to. Maybe you need your feet a little wider. That doesn't matter. It's different for every physical body. Your downward dog doesn't need to look like mine because your body isn't my body and mine isn't yours. Lift long. Press the hands into the floor and away from you. Then imagine someone had a rope that was tied around the creases of your hips, and they're pulling that rope up and backward. That's pulling you away from your hands. Now bend your knees very deeply. Walk your hands toward your feet. Come into elbows to your knees, standing in a crouch. Drop your hips. Extend your chest nice and long. From here, we're going to gradually stand up. Bring your hands onto the tops of your knees. Push into your feet. Stand up tall. Reach to the sky. Exhale, hands come together and to your heart. Shake your feet out. We're going to start into a flow of willows, turning side to side gently, floating the arms. Allow the heel of the foot that's behind you to release from the floor. Allow your arms to flop effortlessly around your body. And come to stillness. Bring your feet a little closer together so they're right underneath your hips. Hands can rest on your hips. Place the top of your left foot to the floor and circle your ankle. Reversing your circle. Now bend your toes forward and backward. And shake out your foot. All right, let's try the other side. Top of the foot to the floor. Circle your ankle around. Reverse. Anybody else hearing snap, crackle, pop there? Bend your toes forward and backward. And shake out your foot. Let's come up a little higher. We'll bring the big toes together and the knees together. Bend your knees so you come into a tiny seat and circle your knees around. Now let's bend the knees forward so much that we really stretch the Achilles heel. If I turn sideways, you might be able to see a little better. I'm going to let the knees drop out the front. So I'm not really doing chair pose. I'm stretching the Achilles tendon instead. Then I'll straighten my legs and tip my body forward. I don't want to bend the knees backward. I just want to straighten the legs. Try that again. Bend your knees deep. Straighten your legs. Bend deep. And straighten. Bend deep. And straighten. This time we're going to bend the knees deep. I'm going to separate my feet a bit, slide to my forearms, and tip into forward fold. As I come into forward fold, I want to keep my back nice and long. I don't want to round my back. That's going to put too much tension in my lower back, and that can be really dangerous. So I'm going to keep my tail extended out and my crown extended out. And I'm going to fold by allowing my knees to bend and straighten, but keep my body nice and flat. Once I get comfortable, maybe I release my hands to the floor, or I happen to have some blocks here, so I can use my blocks to support me. The blocks can really be a wonderful tool in forward fold. You're pressing down into the blocks so that you can lift up and out of your blocks into the back of the pelvis, right here in the top. Let's come into a halfway lift. Hands will come onto the shins. Straighten your legs and flatten your back. Really pull your elbows up toward the sky so you get a nice long flat back, and you pull into this space at your lower back. Take a breath in, breathing out, release. Half lift, forward fold, release. Half lift, fold and release. One more time, half lift, fold and release. Half lift. This time bend your knees, press down to rise, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Relax your arms down. I'm going to move my blocks to the side so I can start using the rest of my mat. We're going to come into side tilts, and we'll do a half of a sun breath, morning breath, reaching breath. Inhale, arms up. Take a hold of your left wrist from the back and lean to your right side. So when you're in this side stretch, you really want to feel opening here through your ribs and your side waist. Feel free to allow your hips to shift off to one side as well and make a big curve out of your spine. Inhale, stand tall. Change hands, reaching the back of your left hand across and come out to the side to lean. Again, feel free to stay tall and lean at the top. If you'd rather, allow your hips to move out to the side. Big curve. Inhale, standing up. Palms touch together, slide down through the middle, forward fold, drop in. Half lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold. All the way lifting, bend your knees and reach up. Hands come down to your heart. Let's do that again with breath. Inhale, lift. Take your left hand from behind, lean to the right. Inhale, lift, change hands. Exhale, lean left. Inhale, lift, palms touch, slide down to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand and reach overhead. Hands to the heart, exhale. One more time for good measure. Inhale, lift, leaning to the right, exhale. Stand up tall, change hands, lean left. Standing tall, folding down through the center. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. Hands to your heart, exhale. Release your hands, shake that out. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Let's widen our feet. Nice big stance on your mat. Rotate your left leg to point into warrior two. So we're going to rotate into this left leg so that it's pointing up the short side of the mat. Bend your knees so it drops right on top of your ankle. Opening out into this back leg, pressing into the outside of your foot. Reach your arms nice and long, fingertip to fingertip. Holding your body tall, deep breath in, and release it out. Soften your shoulders, but reach with purpose through your fingers, gazing over your left hand. Option to make this move today, right? You can press the floor as you inhale, lift your arms up and straighten both legs. Exhale, bend your knee, lower back into warrior two. So if this doesn't feel good in your knee or in your shoulders, don't do it. Just an option, all right? You could always hold still. Your knee might prefer to hold still instead of move. If you're moving, we do one more. Inhale and exhale. Hold still here. We'll take reversed warrior. Drop your right arm. Flip your left palm up. Lean toward the right side as you reach. Left fingers up to the sky. Take care you don't lose this bend in your left knee. Keep it deep. Return to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Hands will come onto your hips. And let's shift into warrior two on the other side. Parallel your feet. Rotate your right leg. This is going to point out the short side of your mat. Maybe the heel of your other foot pushes a little bit to the back. Just an option. Bend into your right knee. Nice and deep. Keep your knee over your ankle. If you have your knee behind your ankle, you're going to put a little more strain on the knee than you want. Same thing if your knee's out in front of your ankle. So we want to be nice and tall, arms open. Gazing over your fingers. Tail is long, reaching out. Option again to move. If you want to inhale to straight leg and lifted arms, exhale to warrior two. You decide. You can go as active or still as your body would like. If you're moving with me, take one more of these up and down. Holding in warrior two, keep your lower body where it is. Drop your left arm. Flip your right palm. Reverse warrior. Breathing deep here. Keep this lunge. Don't let your right knee straighten. Again to warrior two. Straighten up your legs and parallel your feet. Let's move into triangle next. I'm going to bring my feet a little bit closer together for triangle. Starting on the left leg, rotate your left leg so it points out the short side of your mat. From here, I definitely need to put my heel to the back a little bit. When I shift into my triangle, I'm going to tuck my front hip under the back hip, reach my arms open, reach, 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 and sideways tilting. Heart stays open, fingers reach down and up, one on top of the other. Deep breath. Your gaze can move wherever's comfortable with your neck. Release as you pull yourself back up. Hands come to your hips. Change your feet to the other side. Inhale, arms open wide. Reach out. Tuck that bottom hip way underneath your back hip. And release your arms. Your bottom arm will float down. Your top arm will lift up. Open your heart and breathe. Again, let your neck be comfortable with your head as an extension of your spine. One more breath. Inhale to rise back up. Release your hands, and we'll bring the feet together. Shake out your legs a moment. So the next shape we'll make, sometimes called horse, sometimes called goddess. We're going to widen the feet again, just like we were going to do warrior two. But what we'll do with our feet this time is angle the heels in and the toes out. From here, drop your tail by bending your knees. And we want to take both thighs in an outward rotation. Okay, so what does that mean? The outside edges of your knees are pulling toward the back. The sitting bones of both of these thigh bones, the sitting bone is going to pull forward. See if you can find that deep squat. Then you could lift your arms, bending your elbows, making 90 degrees out of your arms as much as that feels comfortable. Again, if it doesn't feel right to your shoulders, take your arms out. Maybe one works and one doesn't. You don't need to use the other one. If you would like to move, your inhale will straighten and exhale will bend. Okay, your choice to hold still or to move. Inhale to lift, exhale to bend, lift and bend. If you're moving, one more please, lift and bend. Hold steady, drop your hands. Option here for a challenge, lift your heels one at a time, lifting the heel one at a time. Maybe you want to do both at the same time, lift and lower. Hands can stay down, arms can lift. It's fun to challenge sometimes, see what works. And release, standing all the way up. Bring your legs back together, shake that out. Okay, the next we're gonna do is a balance pose. So when you're balancing, if you feel precarious about balancing, first thing you're gonna do is get something to hold on to. I happen to be near the wall, so I can place my hand on the wall for support. If you're in the middle of the room, go find a chair, bring it back, and hold it near you, okay? The shape we're gonna make today is the version of, kind of a version of dancer pose, and we're gonna work on stretching the fronts of our legs, the quadriceps, okay? I'll turn sideways to show you where I'm going, and I'm gonna get near the wall and hold on with one hand, okay? So as I hold the wall, I'm gonna stand on the foot that's closest to the wall. I'm gonna bend the other knee and hold on to the instep of my foot. So first of all, if you're saying, my foot is nowhere near my hand, how am I supposed to do that? So maybe you can hold your pant leg, okay? If you have a belt or a strap nearby or a scarf, throw it around your ankle and hold it up, okay? So a couple things you want to keep in mind. We want the knee to stay pointed to the floor. We don't want the knee out the front or the back, okay? We want it to point at the floor, and we want to keep the knee near the other leg. We don't want it out to the side, okay? So see how much of that you can find. Try to drop your tailbone and zipper up the front of your abdominals. Buckle your ribs together so you don't come into a back bend right away. Push your foot into your hand. Stand tall to resist. Now you should feel a really good stretch. Let's shake that out and try the other side. So this is the prep position to come into dancer pose. So if you would like, we're going to come back and try this a second time after we do this other leg. And for the second time around, if you want to release the wall and come into a back bend for dancer, go right ahead. So here I am. I'm standing on the leg that's closest to the wall. I'm close enough that I can reach the wall without reaching out to grab for it, okay? And from here, I want to take the instep in my hand, and I'm going to push the knee toward the floor, not out to the side, not front or back. And I'm pressing my foot into my hand, tailbone down, heart open, nice and strong, okay? Release to shake. All right, we're going to do that again, second time. Feel free to do it exactly like you set up for the first time. If you want to change and you want to add a back bend and take the movement into dancer pose, that's the next step. Feel free to give it a try. I'm going to use the wall again to show you how you can use the wall to balance and how you would do it if you wanted to come into dancer. So as I stand next to the wall, bend my knee, take my foot in my hand. From here, I'm going to allow my wall hand to reach up higher so I can get a nice extension in my spine. Then I push my foot into my hand and I begin to reach my knee toward the back. That's going to allow a back bend, and maybe I begin to lean forward. If you want to make this into a full balance, let go of the wall and reach your arm forward as well. And release. Shake that out. Turning around to the other side. All right, here we go. Taking both knees, pointing, both legs are next to each other. The knee is pointing to the floor. I'm going to reach my opposite arm toward the sky, push my foot into my hand, begin a lower back bend and an upper back bend by slightly tipping forward. Continuing to push my foot back, breathing, and always at a smile. Release. Come back to the center. We'll take one more forward fold, deep breath. Drop down. This time we hang in ragdoll. Let your head drop, maybe rotating your head around. If you'd like opposite elbows in your hands, dropping it in. Gradually make your way down onto your back, coming onto your seat. Pull your legs with you if you want to roll back. I'm going to take an extended roll back. Arms will reach out in front of me, round your back, scoop chin to chest, pivot bone toward your head, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Once you reach the floor, arms go up and over your head behind you. Breathe deeply in for an extension, toes to fingers. Exhale, soften, and relax. We're not done yet. Bend your knees, feet come to the floor. We're going to come into a bridge flow. As you press your arms down beside your body, the palms are going to press into the floor. Your upper arms are going to press into the floor. Use that upper arms to help anchor you to the ground. Push your feet, lift your hips up, opening up through the front of your heart. If you would like, roll some of the flesh of your shoulders under you. Press stronger into your arms, lift a little bit higher. Some of you might like, interlace your fingers, clasp your fingers underneath you, press your hands to the floor, keep your knees nearby, don't let them splay out to the side. Push down into your feet. One more breath. Release your arms from underneath you first. Roll down top to bottom, keeping the knees from splaying out, keeping the feet firmly on the floor. Once your tailbone lands to the ground, one knee comes to your chest, second knee comes to your chest. Give yourself a squeeze and rock side to side. Deep breath in, big sigh out as you lower your feet to the floor. Let's get a hamstring extension. Reach your right leg straight so your foot comes up toward the ceiling. Point and flex your ankle and rotate and squeeze and open your toes. By the way, if you're lying on your back and you're not looking at the ceiling and your head is tipped so you're looking behind you, please go and get a blanket or a shallow pillow and place it under your head so you can look at the ceiling. Cross your lifted ankle over your other bent knee. Bring your knees toward your body. This is figure 4. So as I bring the knees in, I want to keep the tailbone toward the floor. I want to keep my left knee toward my left shoulder. And I'm pushing this right knee, the one that's across my body, I'm pushing it away from me. And my hands are holding on behind my left knee. One more big deep breath. Release your feet to the floor. Left foot kicks to the ceiling. Point and flex your ankle. Circling it around. Squeeze and open your toes. Now cross your ankle over the other knee. This might be your curb. This might be your bumper. This might be where you stop. Maybe all the way in doesn't work for your body. And that's okay. Other options, you might find a block placed under your foot. Might be just the height that you need. Okay? Lots of options. If your legs are able to come in and you're able to comfortably clasp behind your right leg, knee to your shoulder, opposite cross knee pushing away from your body. Release, feet come down to the floor. All right, let's take the feet open wide and the knees lifted. And we'll open the arms to the side. I've got my arms bent sort of like a low cactus. So my palms are facing up, my elbows are bent, the backs of my hands are on the floor. From here, drop your knees to one side. Feet are far apart. My knees have dropped. And in this case, my knees are to the left, and there's some space under my right hip. Perfectly fine. It gives a slight slant to my hips, which is offering a gentle twist in my lumbar spine. Lift your knees, come to the other side. Feet stay wide apart. Drop your knees to the other side. One more deep breath. Inhale, your knees come lifted. Now it's yogi's choice. Any final stretches or movements that your body would like to make before you finish your practice? Maybe you need one more inversion. Maybe you like to lift your hips up a little higher, less than, greater than, sort of a gentle shoulder stand. Maybe you want another back bend and you'd like to take fish, lifting your heart or lifting your whole upper body. Your choice. Back bends are good, twists are good. Nothing is also often good. Find yourself in Shavasana as soon as you're ready. Maybe you'd like to place some blocks under the meaty part of your calf. Swipe the flesh of your tush underneath you and away from your head, dropping the backs of your arms to the floor. Deep breath in, big sigh out your mouth. Get as comfortable as you need here. I'm going to place this cushion on my belly for extra grounding. If you have an eye pillow or a sock or a washcloth, you can put it across your eyes. As you soften into Shavasana, once again, feel your connection to the ground beneath you. Feel your connection to the earth above, the sky above you. Feel free to stay in this shape as long as you like. Try to get at least 10 breaths in. If you can stay for 5 or more minutes, fabulous. We don't have that much time today, so we're going to stay for 5 more breaths. Feel free to stay here a little longer. If you would like to finish your practice now, begin to invite movement into fingers and toes. Bending your knees so that your feet come to the floor, and next, knees come to your body. Pull them in towards your chest. A little squeeze, a little rock, a little roll. Roll onto your side for a full breath. Press the ground, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. And bring your palms together in front of your heart for a deep breath in. Big sigh. Lower your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your hands and face. Open your arms wide and share your love out into the world. Palms come back together in front of your heart. Please join with me if you would like in sharing one Om to complete our practice. Take a deep breath in. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Okay, I'm finished.